her phrases of womanhood, of never having been a girl, half notes scattered, without rhythm, no tune. The distraught laughter falling over a black girl's shoulder. It's funny, it's hysterical. The melodylessness of her dance, don't tell nobody, don't tell a soul. She's dancing on beer cans and shingles. This must be the spook house. Another song with no singers, lyrics, no voices, and interrupted solos. Unseen performances. Are we ghouls? Children of horror, the joke? Don't tell nobody. Don't tell a soul. Are we animals? Have we gone crazy? I can't hear anything but the maddening screams and the soft strains of death, and you promised me, somebody, anybody, sing a black girl song. Bring her out to know herself, to know you. Sing her rhythms, care and struggle, hard times. Sing her song of life. She's been dead so long, closed in silence so long, she doesn't know the sound of her own voice, her infinite beauty. She's half notes scattered without rhythm, no tune. Sing her sighs, sing the song of her possibilities. Sing her a righteous gospel. Let her be born. Let her be born and handled warmly. I'm outside Chicago.
I'm outside Detroit. I'm outside Houston.
I'm outside Baltimore.
I'm outside San Francisco.
I'm outside Manhattan.
I'm outside St. Louis.
And this is for colored girls who have considered suicide, but moved to the ends of their own rainbows. Mama's little baby likes shortening, shortening. Mama's little baby likes shortening, bread. Mama's little baby likes shortening, shortening. Mama's little baby likes shortening, bread. Little Sally Walker sitting in the saucer. Rise, Sally, rise. Wipe your weeping eyes. Now put your hands on your hips and let your backbone slip. Shake it to the east, shake it to the west. Shake it to the one that you like the best. Tag your it.
It was graduation night, and I was the only virgin in the crowd. Bobby, Mills, Martin, Jerome, Sammy, Yates, Eddie Jones. All cousins. All the prettiest niggas in this factory town carried me out with them. In a deep, black Buick, smelling of Thunderbird and ladies in heat, we rambled from Camden to Mount Holly, laughing at the afternoon speeches, dangling our tassels from the rearview mirror, climbing different sort of project stairs, moving towards snapping beer cans, and get it, that's the way to do it, Mama. All Mercer County graduated the same night. Cosmetology, secretarial, pre-college, auto shop, and business. All of us moving from Mama to whatever was out there. That night, we raced a big old truck from the barbecue stand, trying to tell them about the party at Jackie's, where folks that graduated last year was waiting to hit it with us. I got drunk and couldn't figure out whose hand was on my thigh, but it didn't matter, because these cousins, Bobby, Eddie, Martin, Jerome, and Bobby, was my sweethearts alternately since 7th grade. And everybody knew I always started crying if somebody actually tried to take advantage of me. At Jackie's, Yolanda Mason was sticking her mouth all out while we tumbled out of Buick. Eddie Jones was her licking stick, but I knew how to dance. Since 1963, I'd won all kinds of contests with police athletic league dances. All Mercer County knew that any kin to Sammy Yates could turn somersaults before Smokey Robinson could get a woman excited. It got so hot. Vincent Ramos puked all in the punch and hardly got all in Tico's face, because he was leaving for the Navy in the morning. Had to kick ass, so we'd all remember how bad he was. Seems like Sheila and Margaret was afraid to get their hair turning back, so they laid up against the wall, looking almost sexy. Didn't want to sweat, but me and my fella, we was dancing. graduation night had to be hot. So I had to make like my hips was into some business. That way everybody thought whoever was getting it was an older man who didn't run the streets with youngsters. Bobby slipped his leg around my thigh. The Dells bump stayed up and down, the New Harbor homes. We was grown. We was finally grown. Linda all of a sudden went crazy, went over to Eddie, cursing and carrying on. The process tried to talk sense into her, tried to hold her back. Listen, bitch, Sammy went on. Bobby whispered I should go with them. Before they got to nothing, before the police arrived. We teetered silently through the parking lot. Nuh-uh, we didn't know nothing about no party. Bobby started looking at me. Yeah, he started looking at me real strange, like I was a woman or something. In the back seat of that old Buick. Wow. By daybreak, I just couldn't stop grinning.
You gave it up in a Buick?
Yeah, and honey, it was wonderful.
We used to do it all up in the dark in the corners.
Some nigga sweating all over you?
It was good.
I knew I didn't like to grind.
What other kind of dances are there?
Mambo, bomba, merengue. When I was 16, I ran up to the South Bronx, but I was going to meet up with Willie Colon and dance all the time. Mambo, bomba, merengue.
Do you even speak Spanish?
Hola. My papa thought he was Puerto Rican, and we would have been, so we was just regular niggas with hints of Spanish. So, off I made it to this 36-hour marathon dance on the south side of Ricardo, Sugar Ray on Southern Boulevard, next door to this photography place, jam with wedding, burial, communion relics, next to La Real Ideal Genuine Spanish Barber. Up, stairs and stairs, and lots of hallway. With my colored New Jersey self, didn't understand what anybody was saying. Except, if dancing was proof of origin, I was see Marita herself that night. And the next day, I kept on smiling and right on stepping. If he could lead, I was ready to dance. And if he couldn't lead, I felt this attitude I see Rosa do and would not be bothered. I was twirling and hipping, giving much quick feet, being a mute, cute, colored Puerto Rican. Till Saturday afternoon when the disc jockey said, "Sorry folks, Willie Colon ain't gonna make it today." And all of my nigga temper came out of control. And I wouldn't dance with nobody. And I talked English loud. And I loved this more than I was mad. More than when I discovered Archie Shepherd's little blues. Don't you know I wore out the magic of Kiki, heroically resisting the sex? Ooh, the sound sneaking in on the ace of slugs to stay on real artists. And every word out of your mouth was gospel. And if Jesus couldn't play a horn like Shepherd, wasn't no need for colored folks to bear no cross at all. And home is my thank you for music. And I love you more than home, more than Aureliano Buendia Los Locondo, more than Hector Lavoe himself, more than the lady Los Gardenians, more than Cele Los Cuba, Graciela Los Oson, more than the Flamingo Shudu and Tuwa I love you pretty. Oye negro, te amo más que when you play your flute. Te amo más que.
Without any assistance or guidance from you, I have loved you assiduously for 8 months, 2 weeks and a day. I've been stood up 4 times, left 7 packages on your doorstep, 40 poems, 2 plants, 3 handmade note cards. I left town so I can send to you. Have been no help to me on my job. You call at 3 o'clock in the morning on weekdays so I could drive 27.5 miles across the bay before I go to work. Charming. But you are of no assistance. I want you to know that this was an experiment to see how selfish I could be. If I would really carry on to snare a possible lover. If I was capable of debasing myself for the love of another. If I could stand not being wanted when I wanted to be wanted. And I cannot. So, with no further assistance and no guidance from you, I am ending this affair. This note is attached to a plant that I've been watering since the day I met you. You may water it your damn self.
I don't want to write in English or Spanish. I want to sing, make you dance like the bada dance. Scream, twitch hips with me, because I ain't forgot all about words. Ain't got no definition. I want to whirl with you. Our whole body wrapped like mango, running, whipping through space in the corner in the park where the rug used to be. I'm on the Lower East Side in New York City, and I can't talk with you no more.
We gotta dance to keep from crying.
You gotta dance to keep from dying.
So come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Hold your head like it was ruby sapphire. I'm a poet who writes in English, coming to share my world with you, come to share our world with you. We come here to be dancing by you.
A friend is hard to press charges against.
If you know him, you must have wanted it.
A misunderstanding.
You know, these things happen.
Are you sure you didn't suggest?
Had you been drinking?
A rapist is always to be a stranger, to be legitimate. Someone you never saw, a man with obvious problems.
Pinups attached to the insides of his lapels.
Ticket stubs for porno flicks in his pocket?
A little dick.
Or a strong mother.
Or just a brutal virgin?
But if you've been seen in public with him, danced one dance, kissed him goodbye lightly,
With closed mouth.
Pressing charges will be as hard as keeping your legs closed when 5 fools try to run a train on you.
these men friends of ours, who smile nice, stay employed, and take us out to dinner,
Lock the door behind you.
With fist and face to fuck.
who make elaborate Mediterranean dinners and let the art ensemble carry all ethical burdens, while they invite a couple of friends over to have you. You are suffering from blatant rapist bravado, and we are left with the scars.
Being betrayed by men who know us.
And expect like the stranger we always thought was coming.
That we will submit.
We must have known.
Women relinquish all personal rights in the presence of a man who apparently could be considered a rapist.
Especially if he has been considered a friend.
And is no less worthy of being beat within an inch of his life, being publicly ridiculed, having 2 fists shoved up his ass.
Than the stranger we always thought it would be.
Who never showed up.
Because it turns out the nature of rape has changed.
We can now meet them in circles we frequent for companionship.
We see them at the coffee house.
With someone else we know.
We can even have them over for dinner and get raped in our own houses by invitation, a friend.
Eyes.
Mice.
Womb. Nobody. Tubes, tables, whitewashed windows, grime from age wiped over once. Legs spread, anxious. Eyes crawling up on me, eyes rolling in my thighs, middle horses gnawing my womb. Dead mice fall from my mouth. I really didn't mean to. I really didn't think I could. Just one day, get off of me. All this blood, bones shattered like soft ice cream cones. I couldn't have people looking at me. Pregnant. Couldn't have my friends see this. Dying dangling between my legs and I didn't say a thing. Not a sigh or a fast scream to get those eyes off me. Get them steel rods out of me. This hurts. This hurts me. Nobody came. Nobody knew that I was pregnant and ashamed of myself.
violins and ochre crests near the bayou where the poor white trash would sing, moaning strange liquid tones through the swamps. Sachita had heard these things. She moved as if she'd known them. The silver and high-tone laughing, the violins and marble floors, Sachita pushed the clinging delta dust with into tones. The patchwork tent was poked up. Still lights snatched at the shadows. Creole Carnival was playing Natchez in 10 minutes. Her splendid red garter, skin-stained and itchy on her thigh, black diamond stockings starred with yellow threads, and old starch taffeta can fell abundantly orange from her waist round the splintering chair. Sachita, Egyptian, goddess of creativity, second millennium through her heavy hair and a coil over her neck. Sachita, goddess. The recording of history spread crimson oil on her cheeks, waxed her eyebrows, and unconsciously slugged the last hard whiskey in the glass. The broken mirror she used to decorate her face made her forehead tilt backwards, her cheeks appeared sunken, her sassy chin only large enough to keep her full lower lip from growing into her neck. Sachita had learned to make allowances for the distortions, but the heavy dust of the delta left a tinge of grit and darkness on every one of her dresses, on her arms and her shoulders. Sachita was anxious to get back to St. Louis. The dirt there would recall from the earth and see a soul. At least in St. Louis, the grind was store-bought secondhand. Here in Natchez, God seemed to be wiping his feet in her face. One of the wrestlers finally won tonight. And while Raul was supposed to hold a room half-cast Searing Eagle in a bear hug, get thrown unawares, fall out the ring, and then do Searing Eagle in for good. Sachita could hear the redneck whoops and sobbing on the back. She gathered her sparsely sequined skirts, tucked a weight cincher under her graying slips, and made her face mobile. She made her face like Nefertiti approaching her own tomb. She suddenly threw her light full force through the canvas curtain. A deceptive glass stone sparkled malignant on her ankle. Her cap was taunting in the brazen carned lights, the full moon. Sachita, goddess of love, Egypt's second millennium, performing the rites, conjuring of men, conjuring the spirit. In Natchez and Mississippi spewed a heavy fume of barely moving waters. Sachita's legs slashed fiercely through the cracker night, and gold pieces hitting the makeshift stage. Her thighs, they were aiming coins between her thighs. Sachita, Egypt, goddess, harmony, kicked viciously through the night, catching stars between her toes.
The library was right down from the trolley tracks, across from the laundromat, through the big shining floors and granite pillars old St. Louis is famous for. I found Toussaint, but not till after months of Cajun Katie, Pippi Longstocking, Christopher Robin, Eddie Haywood, and a Pooh Bear. In the children's room, only magic rabbits and pioneer girls and big city white boys. I knew I wasn't supposed to, but I ran into the adult reading room and came across Toussaint, my first black man. I never counted George Washington Carver because I didn't like peanuts. Still, Toussaint was a black man, a Negro like my mama said, who refused to be a slave. And he spoke French, and he didn't allow no white person to tell him nothing. Not Napoleon, not Maximilian, not Ross Perry. Toussaint L'Ouverture was the beginning of reality for me. In the summer contest for Who Colored Child Can Read, 15 books in 3 weeks. I won and raved about Toussaint L'Ouverture at the afternoon ceremony, was disqualified because Toussaint belonged in the adult reading room. And I cried, because Toussaint and them fought the citadel against the French with the spirits of old dead Africans from out of the ground. Toussaint led their army of zombies, walking cannonballs, shooting spirits to free Haiti, and they wasn't slaves no more. Toussaint L'Ouverture became my secret lover at the age of 8. I entertained him in my bedroom with a flashlight under my covers. Way into the night, we discussed strategies, how to remove white girls integrated home, integrated street, and integrated school. 1955 was not a good year for little black girls. Toussaint said, let's go to Haiti. I said, all right. Packed some very important things in a brown paper bag, so I wouldn't have to come back. Then Toussaint and I took the Hooded Mountain streetcar to the river. Last stop, only 15 cents. Because nobody could see Toussaint except me. And we was driving all down through North St. Louis, where the French settlers used to live, in tiny brick houses all huddled together, with barely broken windows and shingles uneven, with colored kids playing and women on low porches sipping beer. Yeah, Toussaint was all right with me. I could talk to Toussaint down by the river like this was where we was gonna stow away and catch a boat for New Orleans, catch a Creole fishing rig for Port-au-Prince, and we was just gonna read and talk all the time and eat fried bananas. We was just walking and talking when all of a sudden this old young boy jumped out at me saying, hey girl, you better come over and talk to me. Who was furious, by the way. Silly old boy, you better leave me alone or Toussaint's gonna get your ass. The silly old boy came around the corner laughing all in my face, talking about, look here, yellow girl. What you mean, yellow girl? He said, look here, yellow girl. You must be somebody to know my name so quick. I was disgusted and wanted to get on to Haiti without some tacky old boy bothering me. But he was just standing there, kicking milk cartons and bits of brick, just trying to get all in my business. Then I decided to ask Louverture, what should I do? Finally, I asked, well, who are you? He said, my name is Toussaint Jones. What? I looked at him with some skittered out corduroy pants and striped t-shirt with holes in both elbows and a scab over his left eye, and I said, what's your name again? He said, I'm Toussaint Jones. Wow, I am on my way to see Toussaint Louverture in Haiti. Are you any kin to him? He don't take no stuff from no white folks, and they got a country all they own, and there ain't no slaves. Toussaint squinted his face all up at me. Look at here, girl. I'm Toussaint Jones, and I'm standing right here looking at you, and I ain't afraid of no white folks. You don't see none around here, do you? Then he comes on over and says, let's go on down to the docks and look at the boat. I was real puzzled going down to the docks with a paper bag and my books. I felt Toussaint Louverture sort of leave me. And I was sad. Till I realized Toussaint Jones wasn't too different from Toussaint Louverture. Except the old one was in Haiti and this one with me, speaking English and eating apples. Yeah, Toussaint Jones was all right with me. No telling what all spirits we could move down by the river. St. Louis, 1955. Hey, wait!
Orange butterflies and aqua sequins and skunks tween slight bosoms. Silk roses darted from behind her ears, the passion flower of southwest Los Angeles. Meander down Hoover Street past dark shuttered houses where women from Louisiana shelled peas round 3 o'clock and sent their sons whistling to the store for fatback and black-eyed peas. She glittered in heat and seemed to be looking for rides when she wasn't, and absolutely eyed every man who wasn't lame white or nodding out. She let her thighs slip from her skirt. Crossing the street, she slowed to be examined and never look back to smile or acknowledge a sincere, "Hey, Mom," or to meet the eyes of someone looking for something to do in her direction. She was sullen, and the rhinestones etching the corners of her mouth suggested tears, fresh kisses that had done no good. She always wore her stomach out, lined with small iridescent feathers. The hairs around her navel seemed to dance, and she didn't let on. She knew. From behind, her waist was aching to be held, the pastel ivy drawn on her shoulders to be traced by lips and fingers smelling of honey and Jack Daniels. She was hot, a deliberate coquette who never did without what she wanted. And she wanted to be unforgettable. She wanted to be a memory, a wound to every man arrogant enough to want her. She was the wrath of women in windows, fingering shades, old lace curtains, camouflaging despair, and stretch marks. And so she glittered honestly. Delighted she was desired, she let those specially schemed and tactful suitors experience her body and spirit tear and blend in so easily with theirs. And they were so happy, and lay on her lined sheets full and wet from her tongue, she kissed them reverently, even ankles, edges of beards. At 4:30 a.m. she rose, moving the arms and legs that trapped her. She sighed, affirming the sculptured man, and made herself a bath of dark musk oil, Egyptian crystals, and Florida water to wash away his smell, to watch the butterflies melt into suds and the rhinestones fall beneath her buttocks like smooth pebbles in a Missouri creek. Laying in water, she became herself. Ordinary, brown-braided woman with big legs and full lips. Regular. Seriously intending to finish her night's work, she quickly walked to her guest, tried on her pillows, and began, "You'll have to go now. I've got a lot of work to do, and I can't with a man around here. Here your pants, there's coffee on the stove. It's been very nice, but I can't see you again. You got what you came for, didn't you?" And she would smile. He would even mumble curses about crazy bitches or sit dumbfounded while she repeated, "I couldn't possibly wake up with a strange man in my bed. Why don't you go home?" She could have been slapped upside the head or verbally challenged, but she never was. And the ones who fell prey to the dazzle of hips painted with orange blossoms and magnolia-scented wrists and wanted no more than to lay between her sparkling thighs and planned on leaving before dawn. Because she had been so divine, devastatingly bizarre the way her mouth fit round. And now she stood, a regular colored girl full of the same malice, livid indifference as a sister warned from supporting a would-be horn player or waiting by the window. And they knew, and left in a hurry. She would gather her tinsel and jewels from the tub and laugh, gaily or vengeful. She always kept her silk roses by the tub, and when she finished writing the account of her exploit and a diary embroidered with lilies and moonstones, she'd place the rose behind her ear and cry herself to sleep.
We used to live in the world. Then I moved to Harlem, and my universe is now 6 blocks. When I walked in the Pacific, I imagined waters ancient from Accra to Tunis, cleansing me, feeding me. Now my ankles are coated in gray filth from the puddle beneath the hydrant. My oceans were life, but waters I have here sit stagnant, circling old men's bodies, shitting broken little whiskey bottles up to make me bleed. I used to live in the world, and now I live in Harlem, and my universe is 6 blocks. A tunnel with a train. I can ride anywhere, remaining a stranger. No, man, you can't go with me. I don't even know you. No, I don't want to kiss you. You ain't but 12 years old. No, man, please, 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 please leave me alone. Tomorrow, yeah. No, I can't use it. I could stay alone, a woman in the world. Then I moved to Harlem. I come in at dusk, stay close to the curb around midnight, praying won't no young man think I'm pretty in the dark morning. Wouldn't be good. No good at all to meet a tall, short, young black man full of his power. In the dark, in my universe of 6 blocks. Straight up brick walls, women hanging out of windows like old silk stockings. Cats crying, children giggling, a tavern with red curtains. Kissing ladies, smiling in dirt. Sidewalks spitting, men cursing, playing. I spent more money yesterday than the day before, and that's all that money you nigga ever got involved to. Come over here, bitch. Can't you see this is $5? Never mind, sister. Don't you pay him no mind. Go. Go, 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 sister. Do your thing. Never mind. I used to live in the world, free and sweet talking, good morning and thank you, a nice day. I can't now. I can't be nice to nobody. Nice is a ripoff. Regular beauty and a smile in the street is a setup. I used to live in the world. A woman in the world. I had a right to the world. Then I moved to Harlem for the setup. A universe. 6 blocks of cruelty piled up on itself. A tunnel closing.
Three of us like a pyramid. 3 friends, 1 laugh. 1 music, 1 flowered shawl knotted on each neck. We all saw him at the same time, and he saw us. I felt a quick thump in each one of us. Didn't know what to do. We all wanted what was coming our way, so we split. But he found one, and she loved him. The other 2 were tickled and spurned his advances. When the one who loved him was somewhere else, he would come to her saying, "Your friends love you very much. I have tried, and they keep asking, 'Where are you?'" She smiled, wondering how long her friends would hold out. He was what they were looking for. He bided his time. He waited till romance waned. 3 of us made up stories about you staying. Could have been nice. The season was dry. Okay. No men, no quickies, not 1 dancer, eyes unrelenting. One day after another, except for the one who loved him, he appeared irregularly, expecting graciousness no matter what. She cut fresh strawberries. Her friends called less frequently, went on hunts for passing fancies. She couldn't figure out what was happening. Then the rose she left by his pillow, she found on her friend's desk. And there was nothing to say. She said, "I want to tell you he's been after me all the time, says he's free and can explain what's happening with you. It's nothing mean, I don't want to hurt you, but you know I need someone now, and you know how wonderful he is." My friend couldn't speak or cry. They hugged and went to where he was, with another woman. He said goodbye to one, told the other he would call. He smiled a lot. She held her head on her lap, the lap of her sister soaking up tears, each understanding how much love stood between them. How much love between them. Love between them. Love like sisters.
Ever since I realized that there was someone called a colored girl, an evil woman, a bitch, or a nag, I've been trying not to be that and leave bitterness in somebody else's cup. Come to somebody to love me without deep and nasty smelling skull from liar being left screaming in a street full of lunatics whispering, slut, bitch, nigga, get out of here with all of that. I didn't have any of that for you. I brought you what joy I found, and I found joy. Honest fingers around my face with dead musicians on 78s from Cuba, or live musicians on $5 LPs from Chicago, where I'd never been. And I love Willie Colon and Arsenio Rodriguez, especially because when I can make the music loud enough, there's no me but dancing. When I can dance like that, there's nothing that can hurt me, but I get tired. And I have to come off the floor, and then there's that woman who hurt you, who you left 3 or 4 times and just went back. After you put my heart in the bottom of your shoe, you just walked back to where you hurt. And I didn't have nothing. So I had to go to where somebody had something for me, but he wasn't you. So I was on the way back from her house in the bottom of your shoe. So this is not a love poem, because there are only memorial albums available. And even Charlie Mingus wanted desperately to be a pimpin'. I won't be seeing Eddie Palmieri for months, so this is a requiem for myself, for me. Because I have died in a real way. Not with aqua coffins and doo-wop Cadillacs that I used to joke about when I was messing around, but a real dead loving is here for you now. I don't know anymore how to avoid my own face, wet with my tears. And I had convinced myself that colored girls had no right to sorrow, and I lived and I loved that way. I kept sorrow on the curb, allegedly for you. But now I know that I did it for myself. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand being sorry and colored at the same time. It's so redundant in the modern world, huh?
I lived with myths, and music was my old man. I could dance a dance at a time, a dance with no partners, take my pills and keep right on the step. Linger in non-English speaking arms so there was no possibility of understanding. And you came saying, I am the nigga. I am the baddest motherfucker out there. I said, yes, this is who I'm waiting for. And to come with you, I had to bring everything. The dance and the terror, the dead musicians and the hope, and those scars I had hidden with smiles and good fucking lay open. And I don't know any more tricks. I am really colored and really sad sometimes, and you hurt me more than I ever danced out of, until oblivion isn't far enough to get out of this. I am ready to die like a lily in the desert. And I couldn't let you in on it because I didn't know. Here is what I have. Poems, big thighs, little tits, and so much love. Will you take it from me this one time, please? This is for you. I just know translate the way it makes me pure again. Please, please, this is for you. I want you to love me. Let me love you. I don't want to dance with ghosts. It's not the lovers I made up in my drunkenness. Let me love you just like I am, a colored girl. I'm finally being real, no longer symmetrical and impervious to pain.
We deal with emotion too much. So why don't we go on ahead and be white then? And make everything dry and abstract with no rhythm and no reeling for shit? Yes, let's go on and be white. Let's think our way out of feeling. Let's abstract ourselves in families. And maybe tonight, I'll make myself come without you. No fingers or objects, just thought, which isn't spiritual evolution, because godliness is plenty ripe and fertile. Thinking won't do me a bit of good to me. I need to be loved, and having the audacity to say, where are you? I don't know who to say it to.
I've lost it. Touch with reality. I don't know who's doing it. I thought I was, but I was so stupid I was able to be hurt. And that's not real. Not anymore. I should be immune. If I'm still alive, and that's what I was discussing, how I am still alive, and my dependency on other living beings for love. I survive on intimacy and tomorrow. That's all I've got. And music was like smacking. You knew that and still refused my dance was not enough. It was all I had. But being alive and being colored and being a woman is a metaphysical dilemma I haven't conquered yet. Do you see the point? My spirit is too ancient to understand the separation of soul and gender. My love is too delicate to have thrown back on my face. My love is too delicate to have thrown back on my face.
My love is too beautiful to have thrown back on my face.
My love is too sanctified to have thrown back on my face. My love is too magic to have thrown back on my face.
My love is too Saturday night to have thrown back on my face.
My love is too complicated to have thrown back on my face. My love is too music to have thrown back on my face.
Music. Music.
Da-ba-doo-wee.
Music.
Da-ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Music.
Da-doo.
Delicate.
Delicate. Delicate. And beautiful. And beautiful. And beautiful.
Oh, sanctified.
Oh, sanctified. Oh, sanctified.
Magic.
Magic. Magic.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Saturday night.
And complicated.
And complicated. And complicated. And complicated. And complicated. And complicated. And complicated. And complicated.
Somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff. Not a poem or a dance I gave up in the street, but somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff. Like a kleptomaniac working hard and forgetting while stealing. This is mine. This ain't your stuff. Somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff and didn't care enough to send a note home saying I was late for my solo conversation or 2 sizes too small for my own tacky skirts. What can anybody do with something of no value on an open market? Did you get a dime for my things? Hey man, where are you going with all of my stuff? This is a woman's trip and I need my stuff to ooh and ah about. Daddy, I got a mainline number from my own ship. No, won't you put me back and let me play this duet with this silver ring in my nose? Honest to God, somebody almost walked off with all of my stuff, and I didn't bring anything but the kick and sway of it. The perfect ass for my man, and I didn't bring anything but the kick and sway of it. This is mine. And Tazaki, her own things, that's my name. Now give me my stuff. I see you hiding my lap, and the way I sit with my legs open sometimes to give my crotch some sunlight. And there goes my love, my toes, my chewed up fingernails there with the curls in your hair. Mr. Louisiana Howling. I want my stuff back. I want my rhythms and my voice. Open my mouth and let me talk you out of throwing my shit in the sewer. This some delicate leg and whimsical kiss I gotta have to give to my choice without you running off with all my shit. Now, you can't have me unless I give me away. And I was doing all that till you run off on a good thing. Who is this you left me with? Some simple bitch with a bad attitude? I want my things. I want my arm with a hot iron scar. I want my leg with a flea bite. I want my calloused feet and quick language back in my mouth. Fried plantains, pineapple pear juice, sunrise, and Joseph and Jules. I want my own things. How I lived them. And give me my memories. How I was when I was there. You can't have them or do nothing with them. Stealing my shit from me. Don't make it yours. Makes it stolen. And it wasn't a spirit with my stuff. It was a man whose ego walked around like Rodin's shadow. Was a man faster than my innocence. Was a lover I made too much room for. Almost run off with all of my stuff. And I didn't even know I'd give it up so quick. And the one running with it, don't know he got it. And I'm shouting, this is mine! And you don't know he got it. My stuff is the anonymous ripped off treasure of the year. Did you know somebody almost got away with me? Me, in a plastic bag under their arm,
Me, dangling on a string of personal carelessness, I'm spattered with mud and city rain. And no, I didn't have a chance to take a douche. Hey man, this is not your prerogative. I gotta have me in my pocket to get around like a good woman should. To make the poem in the pot or chicken in the dance, what I gotta do, I gotta have my stuff to do it to. Why don't you find your own things? I leave this package of me for my destiny. What you got to get from me? I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Around 5 o'clock in the winter when the sky is blue, red, and Dew City is getting pressed, if it's really my stuff, you gotta give it to me if you really want it. I'm the only one who can handle it.
That nigga will be back tomorrow saying, I'm sorry.
Get this, last week my old man came saying, I don't know how she got your number, baby. I'm sorry.
No, this is it. Oh, baby, you know I was hot. I'm sorry.
And that is what makes us human. And if we was perfect, we wouldn't have nothing to strive for. So you might as well go on and forgive me, pretty baby, because I'm sorry.
Shut up, bitch. I told you I was sorry.
No, this one is it. I do you like to do you, because I thought you would take it, so now I'm sorry.
Now, I know I love you, but I ain't never gonna love you like you want me to love you. I'm sorry. One thing I don't need is any more apologies. I got sorry greeting me at my front door. You can keep yours. I don't know what to do with them. They don't open doors or bring the sun back. They don't make me happy or get a morning paper. Didn't nobody stop using my tears to wash cars because I'm sorry. I'm simply tired of collecting. I didn't know it was so important to you. Wait, I can't get to the clothes in my closet for all of the sorries. I'm gonna tack a sign on my door, leave a message by the phone saying, if you call to say you're sorry, call somebody else. I don't use them anymore. I let sorry, didn't mean to, and how can I know about that? Take a walk down a dark, musty street in Brooklyn. I'm gonna do exactly what I want to do, and I won't be sorry for none of it. Let a sorry soothe your soul. I'm gonna soothe mine. You were always inconsistent doing something and then being sorry. Beating my heart to death talking about you sorry. Well, I will not call. I'm not going to be nice. I will raise my voice and scream and holler and break things and race the engine and tell all your secrets about yourself to your face. I will list in detail every one of my wonderful lovers and their ways. I will play out the lake loud. I won't be sorry for none of it. I loved you on purpose. I was open on purpose. I still crave vulnerability and close talking. I'm not even sorry about you being sorry. You can carry all the guilt and grinding you want. Just don't give it to me. I can't use another sorry. Next time, you should admit you're mean, low down, trifling, and don't count straight out. Instead of being sorry all the time, enjoy being yourself.
There was no air. The sheets made ripples under his body like crumpled paper napkins in a summer park, and little specks of something from between his toes or the biscuits from the day before ran in the sweat that tucked the sheets into his limbs like he was an old frozen bundle of chicken. And he would get up and make coffee, drink water, drink wine. He wished one of his friends who knew where he was would come by with some blow or some shit. Anything. There was no air. And he'd see the spotlights and the alleyways downstairs moving in the air across the wall over his face and get under the covers and wait for an all clear until he could hear traffic again. There wasn't nothing wrong with him. There wasn't nothing wrong with him, he kept telling Crystal. Any nigga wanna kill Vietnamese kids more than raise his own is sicker than a rabid dog. That's how the thing had been going since he got back. Crystal just got to saying what a fool nigga Poe was and always had been. Didn't he go all over uptown saying the child wasn't his? With some no-count bastard, any old state police could come by and get him if they wanted. Because as soon as the blood type and shit was together, everyone would know that Crystal was a no-good lying whore. And this after she'd been his girl since she was 13, when he caught her. staring. He'd come home crazy as hell. He tried to get veterans benefits to go to school, but they kept putting him in remedial classes. He couldn't read worth a damn. So Bo accused the teachers of holding him back. He got himself a gypsy cab to drive. But the cab kept breaking down, and the cops was always messing with him, plus not getting much bread. And Crystal went and got pregnant again. Bo almost beat her to death when she told him. She's still got a scar under her right tit where he cut her up. Still, Crystal went right on and had the baby. So now Bo Willie had 2 children. A little girl, Naomi Kenya, and a boy, Kwame Bo Willie Brown. And there was no heir. Now how did he get in this mess anyway? Somebody went and told Crystal that Bo was spending all his money on the bartending bitch down at the Merry-Go-Round Cafe. He sat straight up in bed, wrapped up in the sheets, looking like John the Baptist or a huge baby with stubble and nuts. Now he had to get all of this mess out of Crystal's head so she would let him come home. See, Crystal got a court order saying that Bo Willie had no access to his children. If he showed his face, he was subject to arrest. Shit, she'd been in his ass to marry him since she was 14 years old, and here when she's 22, she wanted to throw him out because he said he'll marry her. She burst out laughing, hollering, "What you want to marry me for now? So I can come sit with your ass and they lock you behind her? Because they're gonna come for you. You goddamn lunatic, they're gonna come. And I'm not gonna have a thing to do with you. Oh no, I wouldn't marry your pitiful black ass for nothing." And she went on to bed. The next day, Bo Willie came in black and got to swinging chairs at Crystal, who couldn't figure out what the hell he was doing. So he was shouting again how she was going to marry him against his veterans benefits so he could stop driving them crazy things around while they tried to kill him for $15. Bo was sweating terrible, beating on Crystal, and he couldn't go off the table chair, so he went back to high chair. And little Ferrari was in it. And Bo was with Crystal with the high chair and her son, and some nothing meant him to stop. And he run out. Crystal almost died. That's why the cops wouldn't allow Bo near where she lived. And Crystal had been telling the kids that their daddy tried to kill her and Kwame. He just wanted to marry her. That's what. He wanted to marry her and have a family. But the bitch was crazy. Bo was sitting in his hotel room in the heat of the day, spilling shit all over himself, laughing about how he was going to get Crystal to take him back and let him be a man in the house. And she wouldn't even have to go to work no more. Bo got dressed all up in his ivory shirt and checkered pants and went to go see Crystal and get this mess all cleared up. He knocked on the door to Crystal's room since she didn't answer. He beat on the door, and Crystal and Naomi started crying. After saying again how she was going to marry him, did she always want to be a whore? Did she want a husband? And Crystal just kept screaming to leave us alone. Just leave us alone. And Bo broke the door down. Crystal grabbed Kwame off the floor in her arms and held Naomi by her shoulders and kept saying, "Bo Willie Brown, get out of here. The police is going to come for you, fool. You want the children to see you act a fool again? You want Kwame to brain damage from you throwing him around? They can get out of here. Get out. Don't show your ass again, or I'll kill you. I swear I'll kill you." Bo no motion for Naomi to come to him, and Crystal held on to the little girl and stared at Bo Willie like he was a leper or something. "Don't you touch my children, motherfucker, or I'll kill you." Bo jumped back all humble and apologetic. "I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt him. I just want to hold him, get on my way. I don't want to cause you no more trouble. I wanted to marry you and give you things." "What you gonna give, a broken jump? Nigga, get out of here!" He ignored Crystal's outburst and sat down, motioning for Naomi to come to him. She smiled back at her daddy. Crystal felt Naomi giving in and held on to the girl tighter. Naomi pushed away and ran to her dad, crying, sat her on his lap and played with her ribbons, and they counted fingers and toes. And every so often, he'd look at Crystal, holding Kwame like a statue, and he'd say, "See, Crystal, I can be a good father. Now let me see my son." And she didn't move. And he coaxed her, and he coaxed her, told her she was still a hot little thing and pretty and strong. Didn't she get right back up after that little fight they had and go right back to work? Mo really oozed kindness. And Crystal, who had known so little, let Bo hold Kwame. As soon as the baby was out of our arms, Bo jumped up and laughing and giggling and hooting and hollering. All right, bitch, you gonna marry me. You gonna marry me. I ain't gonna marry you. I ain't ever gonna marry you for nothing. You're gonna be in jail. You're gonna be under the jail for this. Now give me back my kids. You give me back my kids. He kicked the screen out of the window and held the kids off of the sill. You gonna marry me. Yeah, I'll marry you. Anything but bring the kids back in the house. He looked at the kids hanging off the sill from the 5th story, at all the people screaming at him, and he started sweating again. Say to all the neighbors, "You're gonna marry me." I stood by Bo in the window, with Naomi reaching for me and Kwame screaming, "Mommy, Mommy!" on the 5th story. But all I could do was whisper. And he dropped them. I was missing something. Something so important.
Something promised, laying on of hands,
Fingers near my forehead.
Strong,
Cool.
moving,
making me whole.
sense.
Pure.
All the gods coming into me, laying me open to myself.
I was missing something. Something promised.
I know about laying on bodies, laying out a man, giving him all of my fleshy self and some of my pleasure, being taken full even wet like I get sometimes. I was missing something.
A laying on of hands.
Not a man.
Laying on.
Not my mama holding me tight, saying I'm always gonna be her girl. Not a laying on of bosom and womb, a laying on of hands, the holiness of myself released. I sat up one night, walking a boarding house, screaming, crying, the ghost of another woman who was missing what I was missing. I wanted to jump up out of my bones, be done with myself, go out in the wind. It was too much. I fell into a numbness, into the only tree I could see. Took me up in her branches, held me in the breeze, made me dawn dew, that chill at daybreak. The sun wrapped me up, swinging rose light everywhere. The sky laid over me like a million men. I was cold, I was burning up, a child. And endlessly weaving garments for the moon with my tears. I found God in myself, and I loved her. I loved her fiercely. I found God in myself, and I loved her. I loved
the ends of their own rainbows.